Okay, I just need to get the thumbs up. I'm still waiting for your feedback. I need to know that you are here so we can proceed. So let me know, give me a thumbs up to let me know that you're already watching. Many of you have been telling me that you went and tapped the link and you are not yet seeing anything. We are sorry we are late by 10 to 13 minutes. We are sorry about that, but hopefully you are able to get us. I'm still waiting for your feedback to know before we can dive into the data, what we prepared for you. So we want to be able to know that, okay, guys, here you are, and we going on, okay? And just to thank a few of you, we cannot be able to finish up all the names, but thank you so much, Claire, Linda, Namialo, Angela, Julius, thank you, Eunice, you're welcome, Apofia, and Doreen, thank you so much, Nagawa Damali, Eria, and so Grace, thank you so much. Muyingo, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And Sandra, thank you so much. Namawo, thank you so much as well for joining us. So all I'm waiting for is to get at least 10 thumbs up to it, and you guys can be able to actually get us, and we can be able to proceed with the information that we have prepared. Okay, thank you so much for being patient with us. So many issues that we've had, so many hurdles that we've had to go through to make sure that we have the online event. But just in case that still paralyzes and still has issues going on, I mean, it's better we do something for you, content for you, so you can be able to go through, so you can be able to listen, watch, and then encourage yourself, motivate yourself, or find where you fall and be able to rectify whatever it is that you are going to rectify. I know that this is a bit of setback. We're having to come up with all the positivity that we can to make sure that we go through. But rest assured, we have your back, and the offer of the bonus is still on, actually. Sure. Even the better way for us to have the bonus. So for those of you that are joining us for the first time, Bahati Hilda Sabiti is my name.
And Team Sabiti here.
Yes. And we want to kick it off. But this is when to walk away is what we themed it.
Exactly.
And so many of you, I think, have had questions. Even those that want to walk away have had to ask themselves, but this theme, this theme, exactly. You know, kanga, even when you're like, that's where I am. I have so many questions. Or if we are happy as a couple, then I don't want to get to that place. So I better be prepared so I can have a healthy relationship and know how to create it. So there's so many reasons as to why we are here.
It's the worst place you would want to be. I mean, no one dreams of getting to the place where they have to walk away or someone has to leave them.
We all start happy.
Exactly.
We all start with the end in mind, to live forever happy.
Exactly. But before we go into that, please, apologies again. Yeah. But thank you so much for sticking. I mean, around, sticking there. I mean, being there. Yes, we've had a technical issue, and I can't tell why, but these things happen. It's normal. It happens all the time. But the most important thing is the content. Yeah. Yes, that we have to talk about when to walk away.
When to walk away.
We had promised, and you guys must get this content. So we're not giving up. Exactly.
Yes, and I wanted us to start with, I know she will be watching, and she sent a message saying that I feel so hurting. I've been with a cheating husband for 11 years now. And you're saying that I've known my hubby for cheating. We have quarreled several times, and sometimes he has ignored. But like I said, I ignore. Like you said, ignoring it does not take it away. Exactly. Well, I've tried to ignore the fact that this particular woman has a baby who is just 4 months younger than mine. But each time I see her name on Facebook or somewhere, I feel disturbed. This particular incidents of her relocating back to the town where my hubby stays and stuff like that. I can see the pain. I think what I wanted to show was the pain that this person knows that something wrong is happening.
Yes.
And she just wants to know, okay, so how do I go? I'm at the crossroad. Because when you're at the crossroad, a lot of things cross your mind. And crossing your mind does not mean that that's what you're going to do, but you're only looking for options. Your heart is searching.
Exactly.
Where do I go from here?
Looking for sense of clarity.
Do I go to west? Do I go north? Do I go south? Do I stay and fight?
Yes.
Do I pack and leave?
Yes.
What about my children?
And I'll tell you, it's the worst kind of stress.
Yeah.
Mostly because you don't know what next. You don't know.
Yeah.
No clarity.
Because you're not in control of the other person.
You don't know about tomorrow. You don't know what awaits you.
Yeah.
So you just in suspense. All through in suspense.
Yeah.
The kind of stress is the worst, Hilda. You'd rather at least know that, I'm about to fall.
Yeah.
Let me try to hold myself tight so that when I land, I land well.
Yeah.
You get that point?
I get it, yes.
But when you don't know that you're the next place,
whether there's a
Exactly.
hole, there's
You
a
don't
ditch,
know.
you're going
You
to
don't
fall,
know. Yes.
you're just
yes,
moving.
but everything around you, every signal shows one thing: you're about to fall, but you don't know when and how. And
that
it
suspense is so painful.
Painful,
and
really painful.
more painful if you have people who are depending on you.
Yes.
Because
Of
if you're
course,
alone,
yes.
and more painful if
Yeah.
you are committed. Because if it's just a relationship, then someone feels like I can pack my bags and go.
Yes.
But if there are children involved,
Yes.
if you walk down the aisle, the village, the country, people know.
Exactly.
So it becomes so hard.
Yes.
Because everyone has expectations of you. Even when we say do not mind about people's expectations,
certain extent
we are
you have to,
humans.
yeah.
We are humans and we get the pain. So we wanted, in a nutshell, to inform you, why are we here to actually talk about this? Why are we here to talk about this?
Yeah.
Because this is going to help you to know, because this is a subject people shun away from. People don't want to talk about going away. People want to talk about kuguma, but they don't give you the reason as to why, or guma. They don't give you the things that you have to do in order as you're waiting or you're busy in the kuguma session. And people don't differentiate. That's something that has just crossed my mind. Do you know that there are things, and there are things that you can't be patient about.
Yeah.
As in, if someone is telling you kuguma, you've gotten married to someone and you usually say that someone has gotten an accident, and you're like, no, I'm sticking here with this person.
Yeah.
She's the person I love, or he's the person I love.
Yes.
Someone
yes.
has been imprisoned, maybe at their job there is money scandals and
but
what,
you're still committed
but
to
you're
them.
still committed to them.
Yes, I think people got it wrong when we came up with the theme "walking away."
Yeah.
Most people thought, "Are you telling us to pack our bags and go?" Actually, it's not. I'll tell you this. Most of you have packed your bags
So
in your
many
head
already.
and moved
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
You are just a portrait. You're just a chifananyi in that house. You left long time ago.
Yeah.
And you don't know that you actually left.
Subconsciously.
But everything that you do says so. You already left. You're not in that relationship. You're not in that marriage.
And
Now,
some of the words you say is Ndaba Mlabi.
the reason as to why we come up with a theme like this is to, one, awaken you.
Yeah.
That you actually did. But how about
you do it the right way?
exactly
That
to
will
fetch results? Actually,
Yes.
my real issue is about fetching, being in position to fetch some results,
Yes.
to see some results. Because it's possible that you can walk away in your head and no one cares.
Yeah. And it will be good riddance.
Exactly.
And
But
it's possible you can strategically walk away and
you
get the results that you want.
Exactly.
It being reconciliation.
So
or just
now that's where I
a
was
total
going.
end.
That's where I was going. You can use this to draw your partner's attention into reconciliation and serious reconciliation.
Yes.
Some people will never take you serious. Some people will never know why you do the things that you do.
Yeah.
So they take everything for granted.
They will never appreciate you.
Exactly. But when you take it a notch higher,
And you're like,
then
you know
you
what?
grab their attention. Now, we're not telling
I'm
you
willing
to
to
pack
let
the
this go.
bags, but doing everything that will give you
The results
that you need.
seek.
Because you need that marriage, you need that relationship, you need your man, you need your woman. So stop staying in the shadows. Don't hide away from the truth.
Do the right things.
Do the right thing.
So that when you go, you don't regret. When the last beat comes.
When you do the right thing, I can assure you, turn the neck And that's my point. You will turn the neck. He will give you that attention that you need. Because then he will realize that, oh,
I could be losing something valuable here.
Exactly.
Yes. And that means it's giving you a chance to give it another chance.
Yes.
And if that chance does not work, and that person, we are going to mention those things that do not change, so that you can be aware when you're giving people chances that these things do not actually change. So you don't count on them.
Never change. Now, only and only God, only and only God can change a human being.
Yeah.
If you have this assumption that I will change him or I will change her.
Oh, I'm beautiful enough to change him.
You're setting yourself up for a disappointment.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is, at that point, is to believe God to change that person. The rest, if you commit.
Yeah, knowing that
Yes.
he is a human being or
Yes.
she is a human
Yes.
being. Okay, now I want us to start with a segment about finding our voice, and this is what we are doing. We are giving you a voice. We are giving you a reason to come up and say what I'm getting is not enough, or I deserve more, or can we talk about more?
Yep.
So that you can have a platform to start this conversation. But what do you gain in having this conversation? I think that
Exactly.
is the thing that you really, really, really need to know. What do you gain in having a voice that you can stand up for yourself, you can fight for yourself, and you can demand what is rightfully
Sure,
yours?
sure.
And I think one of these things is about protecting your memory. So if you're writing, you will write protecting your memory as a person. I've met so many old women and old men that have regrets, and they speak vividly about their regrets. They will tell you, I wish I knew. I wouldn't have stayed with that man. I would never have given them my youthful life until now. I wasted my time. I did this. Now, no one wasted your time.
Yeah.
I want us to take it upon ourselves. The moment we personalize it and say, I wasted my time. I gave it away without demanding what was rightfully mine.
Yes.
And if it wasn't given to me, I still had a decision to say, you know what? I don't think this is where I must be for the rest of my life.
And I'll tell you the worst part is when you tell the same story your mother is telling.
I know.
And some people wait until they tell the same story that they had their mother tell.
And yet they can't do anything.
And guess what? The most interesting part, the mother is telling the story that her mother told. So it's a generational thing. It's been carried on.
It's a curse.
And it can stop with you.
Mwana wange abasajja bwe batyo.
Yes.
Mwana wange kwegamba whenever
Yes.
you sit mubera
Yes.
mukafubo.
Yes.
It's like a clique of some sorts, or
It's
even
a-
for men,
it's
but
a-
mostly
it's-
for women.
It's a movement, but of only struggles.
Yes.
And you don't want to end the struggle.
This is what he did to me, and this is what he did to me. So you're comparing notes with your mother or with your grandmother, and you're thinking that it's okay. No,
So
not in this generation.
If your mother wasted her 20s and her 30s and her 40s
With
and
a
she's
wrong man,
complaining-
with a
and she's
toxic man.
complaining in her 50s or her 60s, okay, do something.
Yeah.
You don't have to walk into the same footsteps.
Protect your memory.
Protect your memory.
So that you can have good memories when you're old. And you
Exactly.
remember that particular time when you changed the story
We
of your
can
life.
change the story.
Yeah.
We can change it. There are certain things that I don't want to hear. One of them is poverty.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
protecting my memory.
Yes, you're protecting your memory. You're like,
Exactly.
I changed my life. I started hustling.
I don't believe that my children will have to go through what
I went through. Yeah.
I
believe
have
they
to-
should be
I have to
better.
build for them a better future. Certain things they will never see, they will never taste, they will never even smell. Why? Because I have to protect them.
Yes.
I have to work hard to give them a better future.
So even when it comes
And
to healthy
it doesn't
relationships,
end with that, because that generation needs to be trained,
Yes.
mentored, groomed. So they'll have to carry on with the legacy that their children
we'll carry on also.
and their children's children, and that's how our generation changes. Okay, so if you've had a struggling marriage, what exactly
are you going to pass
telling?
on?
What are you telling your girl, your daughter, your beautiful girl? What are you telling your handsome son?
Wow.
Is it supposed to be part of him?
Wow.
If you struggle, does it have to struggle? Yes, I understand that you're a single mother. So what? You can change that
You
story.
can change the
You
story.
can change that story. It's not earmarked that is your destiny.
That's
You
how it was,
suggest
it is, and forever it will be.
No, it is a lie.
So if you're writing, write your legacy. The talk here is giving you a brand new leaf
Yeah,
to write your legacy.
exactly.
about your relationship.
Exactly.
What will your children say about, because for so long I'd sworn I would never get married because of the so many things that I had seen.
That you had seen, yes.
And my mother had to break that every time that I spoke it out.
And that's what
until she told me, there are good men out there. You will not meet a bad man out there.
And that's what I was telling you. Your job, your job now as a mother, your job now as a father is to write
a legacy.
Exactly. It's a new story.
Wow.
That, much as I struggled, it's not your place to struggle.
Yeah.
Much as I suffered,
you
it's
will
not
not
your place
struggle.
to suffer.
And on my watch.
Exactly.
You will not do that.
You will do better than me.
Yes. In relationship, in marriage, in whatever it is, with your children, with your finances, you will do better than me. But again, you cannot write that legacy when you are crippled.
Exactly.
You can only write that legacy by setting an example.
Yes.
That means you have to jump in. You have to take a leap of faith and say, okay, what I am doing does not only affect me, but it affects my whole generation.
Exactly.
So one day someone is going to call you a great-grandmother.
Yes.
One day someone is going to call you a great-grandfather. What will your name be sounding in their ears?
Exactly.
What will Sabiti Jr. be passing on to the other generations?
And I don't want to call him Junior. I'll tell you this.
He starts a generation of his own.
My son, in his generation, is a senior. I don't call him a junior. I would want him to do better than me.
Yeah.
That the assumed senior. I would want him to do better than I have done. So I train him to be better than me.
To be a better man. Wow. So guys, you protect your memory and then you write your legacy.
Yes.
And you sculpt your future.
Yep.
You make your future. You create your future. And that begins tonight.
It's a decision.
That begins today.
Now. Actually today.
Right now.
Right now.
Yes.
You make up your mind to direct it. Do you know how they direct a movie? It is deliberate to capture the attention of the viewer. Exactly. That's how they direct the movie. And anyone who's directing a movie has it at the back of his mind that I must fetch particular results.
Yeah. I must touch their emotions, make them cry,
yes,
make them want to watch more.
When he does not get that, it's not a movie.
And I'm thinking the series, guys, I think that's the way we wait for another episode to come out. Why? Because they have touched our emotions. They've strategically positioned themselves in our lives to eat our time and our money.
So you're a movie director, but this movie is about your life.
Yeah.
So how you direct your movie really matters.
Yes.
It has to be very intentional, very deliberate, that you direct your movie a particular direction. You direct your movie to go a particular direction. You have to take it that way. No one should just come and make you meander and force you to take other directions.
So if you are 25 right now or 30 right now, look at the next 30 or 40 years of your life. That's what you're beginning to create right now. For every compromise that you make, you are creating.
Exactly.
For every sacrifice that you make, you are creating.
Exactly.
For every silence that you make, you are creating.
And guess what? We don't have a very long time.
And every tolerating and accommodating, you are creating something.
The time we have is not.
No, we are not sure about the life that we have. So we cannot live a life where we don't know what next.
I'll tell you this. With the education system, by the time you're out of university, you're a man.
I know.
I like talking to the boys. You're a man. You're 24. 23, 24, 25. Some of your courses, you get out when you're 25. And guess what? With our conditions, now COVID also being part of them. Yeah. You might take another 3 or 4 years to find a job. And before you realize you're seeing someone's girl you want to marry. Yeah. You're already in your 30s. Oh boy. Now, if you are not lucky to have inherited something, then you need somewhere to start where, with that education, without even a skill. Okay, you got the education, you have a bachelor's degree from Makerere University.
You're not even committed.
But you don't have any single skill.
Determination.
Let me tell you this, guys. Life is possible. Yeah. If you choose to make up your mind right now. It's not about your college degree. It's not about your master's. No. It's not about anything or anything.
Not about coming from a posh home.
It's about you. It's more about you than anything else. All these other things, it's just like, or naturally you have something. Yeah. Okay? And that's the God-given potential
And
ability
all
that God
these
has
are bonuses.
has put in you.
Your family, your support system, the whatever is
It's supposed to boost.
Yeah.
That which is in you. It's supposed to be boosted by these external factors. And that's what brings life.
So, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that you create a better future, you need to be very confident. You need to have your self-esteem together. You need to stop crying, because there are certain demands you can never make while you're crying.
True.
If you want a healthy relationship and someone is not giving it to you, and you've been demanding and demanding, because as we go on, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about why people actually walk away. And when you are in a relationship, for the marrieds, we can get back to them. But when you're in a relationship, when is it okay for you to actually opt out? When you're in a relationship, when you repeatedly request for change and that change is never coming.
Yeah.
Repeatedly is the word to underline.
Yes.
You said, let's communicate.
And I will tell
let's
you,
talk.
Hilda.
Let's plan.
Anything that cannot change in a relationship is 10 times harder to change in a marriage.
It actually gets worse.
Yes. So, if you are in a relationship and you're seeing certain signals, don't take them for granted.
Yeah.
A discussion
without tears,
where you're asking questions and you're demanding for answers, but in a very polite way, without crying.
Wow, guys, I hope that you're hearing this, and I hope you're taking note. You ask the questions without tears. You take the risk. Number one, you bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even if that marriage is to die, it's going to die anyway.
Yes.
So if you are to save it, you can save it.
Yes.
By manning up or womaning up.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Yes.
And you decide to ask the right question.
Exactly.
And this is where I tell people, prepare yourself enough.
Exactly.
Sometimes when we have these things emotionally entangled in our minds,
it's like you're clogged up.
Yes, you're clogged up. But when you have pen to paper and you write, what kind of relationship do you want as a person?
Yes.
That I want a respectful relationship. What has been happening in this relationship that has not been has been disrespectful?
Yeah.
You also note it.
Yes.
And you are able to articulate it in the way not pointing fingers that you normally do this, but this, when you do this, this is how I feel about it.
Yes.
When you do this, this is how I feel about it.
And
you are hurting me and you are intending it.
And this is another tip. You don't mix up issues. If you've come to talk about A, stick to A.
Yeah.
Don't meander. Don't dig up the history.
Last year you did this.
Even when, because manipulative people are so good. The moment you get off focus, the moment you dig into things that are irrelevant,
they grab you.
They grab you and they turn tables on you. And
at the least expected point.
And the next thing you're regretting as to why you said what you said. Now, simple. Just be wise. Stick to the point.
To what brought you.
No emotions.
If you're
no
addressing communication,
address
that. Yeah.
Toyogera ku mama we.
Toyogera ku mulimu gwe, toyogera ku bosi we, toyogera talk about. I want us to talk about us. That is ambiguous.
Yes.
What exactly do you want to talk about? Be very clear and be very articulate.
So you take the risk, but expecting some results. Try it. It will work. You'll get his attention. You'll get something out of it. Yes.
Okay. There are so many things that we have prepared for you, but I want you to take those point of actions seriously so we can be able to decide what exactly we want to do and when we want to do it. Okay? And welcome if you're just coming through. And we're talking about when to walk away. And we are discussing at length. And there are some of those things that are very huge, or things that in a relationship that it's so hard for people to get over.
Yep.
And I would want us to discuss some of those, just to throw more light, because when you're in that predicament, you don't have clear thoughts.
True.
But when we outline these things for you, then you're able to know that, okay, this is where I fall, or this is what this person has done to me. So there are those things that and you can't compromise on them.
True. True.
They would be next to unforgivable, as in they are too huge in a relationship, and they usually bring relationships to an end.
Yes.
So that you can double check yourself
Yes.
and find out if these are the things that you're actually going through. And one of them is broken trust.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about broken trust.
We've talked about trust so many times.
It being like a broken mirror.
Yes.
That even when you pick it up,
yes,
you can never see
like
a clear
a crystal
image
ball
of you.
when it falls.
You can never pick it up.
Yeah.
It's not rubber. It does not bounce.
Yeah.
Once trust has been broken,
yes,
you will never be able to see that marriage in the wholesome way again.
Exactly. Well, we've
dreams will be shattered.
Yes, we've talked about this so many times, and you said yes, you can work to rebuild the trust. But as Hilda put it, there will always be a
cracks.
Yes, and it's just like a mirror.
Insecurity.
You can trace that this mirror.
You'll be walking on
has
eggshells.
Yeah, yes, because we are human. We are human. We will forgive you.
Yeah.
Okay. But it will take time for someone to completely get it out of their head.
Yes.
So anything small that looks like it can refreshen the memory, can cause people to dig back or to suffer the pain or to go through the emotional torture.
So
whatever it is, have we hurt people? Yes. You know? Have we in one way or the other lost the trust? Yes. Okay? Is it possible to build that trust?
Yes.
Absolutely possible.
But it takes commitment.
Exactly. So if you can avoid to walk that road, the better.
Do not even try to bruise the trust.
Yeah.
Because picking it up again, there are people who will never mend.
Yeah.
There are some hearts that will never mend.
Very true.
And so many people that have called me and told me, you know what, ever since she cheated, I have never looked at her the same again, and I don't think I will ever look at her the same again. And I don't know what to do because now that's a failure on my side. I really want to make this marriage work, but I don't think I can look at her the same way. And most women have called me crying and saying, you know what, I forgave him 2 years ago, but I have failed to forget. And every time he takes long to come back home, I'm thinking he's doing that. Every time his phone has passwords and I can't access it, I think he's hiding something.
Though again, I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
For that particular kind of person, you realize you torture yourself a lot.
Yes.
When you go through that, because at times you're completely wrong. At times you have completely confusing signals. So when there is that backlog, it is again your job as a human being, it's your job as a woman, it's your job as a man
to help yourself.
To help yourself, to wrap it up. You know, is it possible that the memories will refreshen at a time you least expect?
They will. Yes.
Okay. But it's also important for you not to leave that door open, because just imagine this, Hilda, that every time you do something wrong, Christ has to go back on the cross. You get the point. He did it once. Now I'm taking you a bit into the gospel, that he loved us and he gave us. He gave us his son, died for us on the cross. What was he doing? Redemption, salvation, giving you hope, forgiveness. You get the point. Now, I like it when people forgive
and work on the issues, help themselves
because
to recover.
You hurt yourself more when you walk on the eggshells for the rest of your life.
And this is what I will tell you, that when you forgive someone because of broken trust, look at their actions. Do not even bother with their words, because words can be very deceiving.
And those are the phases.
Now, when you look at their actions, and they've not given you a reason to doubt them, continue believing and helping yourself heal.
Exactly.
When they give you a reason to doubt, and it has to be concrete with evidence. Let's say you have found flirting messages back in their phones, and it's something that you have been dealing with for the past 5 years. Then you have a reason to know that this person, and that is what we will talk about, the things, the traits that never change in partners.
Actually, some time back I was talking about the phases. Forgiveness is in phases as well.
Yeah.
Because forgiveness, when you've, not actually forgiveness, the right word would be change,
healing.
To see real change and healing. It's in phases. Because when we forgive, that's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Because once I forgive,
I have opened
I believe that I'm giving you an opportunity to change.
To prove yourself.
the things you've been doing. So I do a follow-up. Now, the kind of
You're
follow-up,
actually on probation.
yes, the kind of follow-up I'm doing at this point is to trace that you've actually turned. It's just like a 360 turn around. That you were going this side and you've turned, you're going this side. You've stopped it and you've put a stop to it. That you will never be that person again.
Yeah.
You get the point? Now, the moment that person does that, then we start to trace. Is it possible that along the way, they may want to look back? If they never look back, then that's a positive sign. You get the point? So just like you put it, it's like probation.
Yeah.
Now, when the probation period is over, then
Dive in
acceptance,
and have,
full acceptance. Now, when full acceptance happens, this is what I usually tell most especially women. Please don't take that man back to that place, back to that kind of man that he was.
by
Don't
reminding him all the time.
constantly reminding him
Nelly
without any
wakola
proof.
boti. Nelly, you did this.
Yes, without any proof, but you keep taking the guy back. Every time he tells
And
you, it ended.
even when this person does something again in that line, now, this is just wisdom for you. Don't even bother talking about it. Make a decision on your end. Because sometimes it's not worth it. To cry about the same things that you cried 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you're crying about the same things, you're still requesting for the same change. Those are the things that we said. The repeatedness, the patterns that have been built, you can clearly see that this person is a womanizer and they will never change.
True.
They were womanizing before they dated you, and when they dated you, they were still doing the same thing. They walked you down the aisle, they're still doing the same thing.
Person,
10 years in marriage, they're still
doing
the same thing.
yeah.
I mean, go back not to think twice and say, you know what, this is a pattern, and I have concluded, according to my survey, that it will never change.
Yes.
So if I'm accepting him for who he is, then I better keep quiet and not complain again.
Yes.
If I decide, and this is the end of the road for me, that I do not want to indulge with a liar anymore, then I had better made a decision concerning my life.
Very
okay?
true. Yes.
And there is also, when your partner refuses to discuss about your future, there are so many people, you'll be watching this and you're cohabiting, and your partner has just refused to talk about the future with you. You've brought it to table for the past 5 years. You're like, you know what? There are people that called me that and told me their partner or their husband, they're cohabiting, their man has never visited, does not even know anyone at their home. But she knows everything that happens in the man's home.
It's intentional.
Very intentional.
It's intentional. It's intentional. When you bring up the subject or you bring up the conversation,
They
it
divert
diverts.
you. Yeah.
Diverts you
Or
to
they
something
pour cold
else.
water on you.
Exactly. It's intentional. It's intentional.
No one should tell you it's about money. No. It's about willingness.
It's about okay. Now tell me, how much do you need to? How much do I need to see your brother?
I know.
How much do I need to see
to
your
see
sister?
your sister,
How much
even
do-
if it's a mother.
Exactly.
What bread,
If-
bread, sugar, and what?
If we are cohabiting, we've been in this marriage for 5 years.
There
Of
is a
course,
problem.
probably there is a child somewhere. Okay, so omwana ono oli amuyita si jjajjaawe.
I know.
So what is wrong with that? If you can be able to get a child with this woman,
And eat every day, and the rent.
so it's not about money.
It's not about
I
money.
wouldn't ta- I wouldn't
It's
take
about
the- I wouldn't take
willingness,
the road,
and it's
the
about
money-
taking you for
I wouldn't
granted.
take the money road.
You know everything that is happening there. So he
Money
doesn't
would-
want
money
to
would
know.
be a lie. It's
He's
not a money
taking you
thing.
for granted.
Money is not true.
Yes.
If there is anything besides that, then he would rather say.
Yeah.
Because
But most of them, they want to take people for granted, but they don't want to mention about the reasons as to why they take people for granted. Because there is no reason. Either he just doesn't love you enough, because we are giving you options. He just doesn't love you enough. He's thinking, but when he gets better money, he will get a better woman. It's possible. It's ringing in his mind. It's possible at their home he was told, never marry a Mnyankole, never marry a Mnyarwanda, or never marry
there's
a
so
what.
many.
And he's just
There
thinking.
are
So there are so many,
101
but
reasons.
they are not in your favor.
yeah.
So if you're cohabiting, and this I will say it on record, you still have a chance to walk away.
And by the way, Hilda here is talking about the side of the women, but even the
Even
side
the
of
man.
the men, it happens where
Yes.
you have a woman who cannot allow you to see anyone from their side.
By the way, it happens, and these days it's very rampant.
The moment you see that young man, just know there's something wrong.
A certain man last week called me and told me that I've been requesting this girl to visit her home so that we can, whenever I talk about a wedding, she dismisses. She's like, I don't think I am ready. Yeah. I don't think I'm. She does not love you.
Yes.
She doesn't.
Now, you remember the other topic we're talking about? We're talking about love, commitment.
Yeah.
People fear commitment. Falling in love, people falling in and out of love.
Every day, every minute.
But what people fear the most?
Commitment. So if she doesn't, a woman, and I usually tell these guys that, you know what, I am a woman, I have been there. A person that I love cannot suggest to me to take them to my home, and I fail to take them to my home. Even if I am fearful, there is a way love drives away fear.
Yeah.
But when I am fearful of commitment, that means I don't love you enough to trust you.
Yeah.
To engage with you.
I don't want to commit to
you.
I
don't want to commit to you. So if someone doesn't want to commit to you, they had better stop wasting your time. Yeah. And actually, not them, but you had better stop wasting your time.
Exactly.
You make a decision once for all. Because I think that's why you say that some reconciliation or making up in marriage or relationship requires to walk away. Sometimes you need to take them to the edge and say, you know what, I can leave this deal raw and unattended to, and I will walk away and I will sleep peacefully. I mean, I'm not going to run after, nag and chase after something that does not want to be with me. I'll walk away. Okay, and then when someone uses abusive language again and again, and such people never stop.
Yep.
It becomes a pattern. Someone told me that the husband, whenever she does something, or something that's, of course, we all have flaws or we all make mistakes here and there, the husband will be like, oba wasomera wa, ne wamwe mulabika muli basiru, ne wamwe, you know, like insults, real insults. To the extent I was like, where does that man come from? Because I was like, I've not heard of that. It's not so common. But there are so many people that are being insulted, like young kids. Young kids don't even deserve to be. You don't have to insult anyone in life. You're supposed to respect old and young. You're supposed to respect.
I imagine what that woman goes through.
As in, wasomerawa, oli musiru,
no confidence.
As in, wajja wange kulya buli, nakulangire emmere. And the woman was telling me that, you know what? Whenever I cook, I give to the children and I start crying.
Wow.
And I can't eat my own food.
Painful.
I would rather give it to the house helps. I would rather give it away. My children have to be fed. Yeah. It's a lot of pain.
It's a lot of pain.
And she was asking me, what do I do?
Yeah. Yes. I understand those crossroads. I do.
It's so painful.
Yes. You would find that the man has that weakness, but probably has other strengths.
Definitely has. He buys food at home. He gave them, and apart from being abusive.
Hilda, I'll tell you this: buying food at home, you're helping yourself as a
definitely
man.
As a man.
So
that's not even a.
I was making this joke that I can't brag about giving my wife money. Yeah. I can't brag about buying food at home.
Exactly. You're doing it for you.
Helping me. Yes, I can't. It's not a place to brag. Yes. It's so painful, the abusiveness. Yes, I'm looking at that woman and I'm thinking about the man as well. Yeah. And one thing that comes to my mind is the upbringing.
Yes,
the upbringing. You will find that man does not think he's insulting the woman.
Auntie Kakati, that is when we said you have to have a voice for yourself.
Yes.
Now, when you have a voice for yourself, and one day he insults you and you tell him, never do that again.
Yeah. And that's why, yes. You take the risk.
You take the risk to rock that boat.
Never
again.
Exactly.
And
I'll tell you this.
No one deserves to be insulted.
I gave the example of a dog. I can give so many examples. Let me tell you, the day something like that happens,
he will shut up. He'll be like, mukazi abadde ani amulabudde ajja kukirowoozaako agenda kuŋŋamba ki.
Now, mistakes zetukola. The common mistakes that we make is
that hinder change.
Yes, when we are faced with such, we complain in the background.
Yeah, we become cowards.
Yes, we complain everywhere else, other than
apart from that person.
Face the devil. I'm using the word the devil. Okay, because the day you look the devil into the eye.
Is the day he will be like, this is a changed person. And sometimes people get married when young. So after you have grown up 5 years and you're not the same again, your needs have changed. The way you perceive relationship and marriage has changed. So that is when you have to gain your voice and speak up for yourself and say, you know what? No. If Lurina Linesiga Rose, Rose something, Santi or something, this time this is not what I am using, and the money is totally different. Or if the other time you could say anything and get away with it, right now you're not going to say anything and get away with it. In front of my children, in front of the house helps, even if we are just the two of us, never again should you ever lift your tongue and say anything like that. And you should be able, no crying and no complaining. And that is why I was saying, when you rock the boat, be willing to leave that boat. When someone wants to capsize you.
Hilda, something that came to my mind, I'm the last born in our family.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, of all my siblings, of course, I am the baby. So in most cases, they had that upper hand to make certain decisions.
Yeah.
And not that they were abusive.
Yeah.
But they felt I was young.
Yeah, so they could manipulate you into certain things.
Until I got to that place where
enough was enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
and as they when someone comes running, no mutera wakoma, they hit the wall.
You know, when you do that, you are taking a risk.
Yeah.
Because this is your family. You'd want to keep them as much as you can. You'd want them around, and you're taking a risk.
You're rocking the boat.
But the risk that you're taking is very, very key
to your peace
in your life.
Yeah.
Because you're a man. For how long will you want to be treated like a boy?
Yeah.
So when you put the demarcations and you're like, you know,
this is where you stop. I make my own decision. Thank you very much.
They'll complain, they will say everything, but they will come back to terms
and
respect you. And respect you more.
Exactly.
Because that's what they're waiting for, though they're not saying
to grow up.
They want to see if you've grown up.
Yeah.
Now, the growing up here means
standing
I own up.
Yeah.
I take
you
responsibility.
have a voice.
I own up and take responsibility. So I'm not asking any one of you
for handouts, for help, for what? No.
I'm owning and taking responsibility. No one should come to help me. You're not invited. I'll fight my battle. I'll finish it.
And they'll respect you for that.
When you look into his eye and tell him, enough of this.
Okay.
I can't take that anymore. You cannot insult me in front of my children again. You can never do that.
Not even when I am alone.
Now, he's the one who is paying the house. He's the one who is buying the food. Let's see if he will stop buying the food. Let's see if he will stop paying the rent. Let's see if he will pack his bags and go. He will not go anywhere. He will only appreciate the fact that
this is a different woman. And the next thing happens, the same. You're like, you know what? I'm not that naive girl anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a woman and I deserve to be respected. So guys, some of these things we just need to stand up for ourselves. And when you're constantly deprioritized, do you know there are people who have so many priorities
but
and
you're the last on the list.
Bottom.
Always bottom.
And sometimes you're even forgotten.
Yeah.
And you know it, you can see it. Because when you're not a priority in someone's life, you will see it that you're not a priority. You will see it that their job comes first, their boss comes first somewhere, their family comes first, their friends come before you, even a stranger comes before you. Yeah, your children, as in everything comes before you, but you are the last on the list.
Even the text, you don't text me while I'm at work.
I know. You don't text me while I'm at work. I mean, like seriously, some people just have issues.
I know you.
If I need you, I will text you.
Yeah, I know you love your job. You need your job, but don't tell me that no one texts you.
I know. But that's Kamanyiro.
And in this world of today, most of our business works on WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, yeah.
It's on the phone. That's why people have been working anyway from home during COVID.
There's one who told me that the husband...
So when someone uses that language on you, there's something...
Yeah, there's something they're
hiding.
You're
not really a priority.
Yeah.
Yes. You find them, they're online. Not that they are not.
Exactly.
They're
online. Chatting with someone or some
else,
people.
But when you send them a message...
They don't respond.
Yes. I
for
told
3
you never
days.
send me a message when I'm at work.
Yeah. I will contact you if I need you.
you.
then,
your
then
relationship.
you're not needed. We're not going to go through everything, but we will put the slides for you so you can be able to actually see those slides. And now I think the things that that will never change, that we should never expect to change from our partners. I think we're going to just run through the list very quickly
Yes,
because of time, and so we can be able to to have this going. Okay, now there are so many things that will never change in your partner, and if you give yourself the hope that they will change, then that means that you're wasting your time.
You're actually creating false expectations.
False, yes.
You're setting yourself up for a
disappointment.
You're about to be hurt.
Exactly. And one of them being what happened in the past. You can never change that. You can never undo the relationships they had.
If you had 10 relationships, it happened.
Had children, had what, it will never change. Both in women and men.
Have the peace in you, accept it, or leave the guy.
Exactly. You've said it right. And then whether they're an introvert or an extrovert,
exactly,
you can never change that. Because I've seen so many people having introverts for husbands or wives, and all of a sudden they want sanguines, or they want a person who is excited and they talk around the house and all that, and they call it communication. They hide it under communication. This person does not communicate, this person does not hug me, they don't touch me, they're not excited, they're not excited to see me. But you know, when introverts are pursuing someone, or when they're chasing someone, or they want to get into a relationship with someone, introverts, they become extroverts somehow. Because they are pursuing.
What happens?
So
they program themselves to get results.
Yes. So they put in the effort. They communicate. They get excited. They comment on the hair.
So those
they start with the compliment.
Those are confusing signals.
Yes, they're very confusing. Because then after you have someone, then you go back into being who you are. And then all of a sudden they're bored.
You think we're very wise to tell people that take time and date them. Because that's when you get to know some of these things.
Because they can't hide it forever.
Yes, it will happen for 2 months, 3 months.
And they will give up the act.
They will not tolerate it. They will not be consistent. At a certain point, they will drop the ball. So when the moment they drop the ball, you learn.
And then you can decide.
Because whether introvert or extrovert, the most important thing is you making your peace.
Accepting it.
And accepting it the way it is.
That my husband is quiet. My wife is quiet.
He's not yappy,
but she loves me, she understands me, and I love her.
To live with him.
Exactly. And then there is having a serious mental issue.
Okay.
There are people who are constantly depressed. And by the way, everything chichuka. Because then the love is and it's like a drug. Love is like a drug, and it wears off somehow. So when someone has mental issues, I don't want you to promise yourself that these mental issues are going to actually stop somewhere. Don't give yourself the false hope. If you love them for who they are, love them for who they are with their state. But don't expect that this is actually going to change. There are people who are paranoid. There are people who are extremes. When they get happy, they get so happy, and when they get annoyed, they want to commit suicide.
Or they want
and
to
you
kill.
see them, you even see it in a relationship. So don't give yourself hope that, oh, I hope I'm too beautiful enough to change this person, or the future will hold something different. And then the ongoing struggles of addiction. If someone loves their alcohol, just know they love it more than they love you. If they love their marijuana or their cocaine, addiction is very hard to break.
I've seen some people who have gotten over addictions. But the only thing is, it's completely false hope for you to think that they're going to change. Because that has to come from them, not you. If you detect it, make up your mind to stay or to leave. If you choose to stay, if you choose to be with them, support them. Find a way to support them, love them for who they are.
Exactly.
It's a hard one. It's a tough one because think about it.
Take it or leave it.
Think about it. You're dating this young girl. Let me talk to a Christian boy. You're dating this young girl who drinks.
And when then you're hoping you're going to pray for them and they will change.
I mean, around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., it will still want to go to a bar somewhere. It would want to go to a club somewhere. So you either make up your mind to live with her the way she is, or you leave it. You let it go.
So guys, that is plain as it is. And then people who have undying selfishness in them.
Oh boy.
Selfishness.
Stingy,
egocentric.
It's all about
them.
It's all about
me.
And I don't care. care. Now, that's the worst attitude.
It never changes.
Oh,
so if you expect
worst.
that you're dating or you're married to someone who is selfish and you expect they're going to change,
and by
then
the way, it's
you're
not hard
in
to,
for a
it's
ride.
not hard to tell.
You
a
can tell.
selfish person.
Yeah.
It's the easiest to tell. Very easy.
Mm.
Very, very easy. I'm telling you, it's their car.
Exactly. It's my house.
Yeah.
It's my bed. It's my food. It's everything. It's mine, 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 mine. When they're invited somewhere, they go alone. As in, for them, it's about them and what makes them happy.
Them.
Yeah.
Those ones, very hard to pretend. Very, very hard. The first day on a date, you will tell that he's selfish. The first day,
and then you'll
way.
be like, abasajja bakyalabika tewalabika kanesibe kuono. Now you know that you're getting into something that you're going to cry about or regret later. So be very, very careful while you're getting into that. And the other thing is the sense of humor. You know, it looks small, but people's sense of humor never changes.
Yes.
That even after they marry you and they come to a clique of friends, they will say something, or they will say something. So if you want to shush them, then you're in for a ride.
Now,
like seriously, like my husband here, his sense of humor.
Now you kill that part
you
of
can't.
me.
I know. And then you're dead.
I'll be dead.
I can't keep.
I'll be dead.
I can't.
But where the problem, is when you go into extremes, because all that list, by the way, all that list is manageable.
Yes.
Problem are the extremes.
The extremes, and most of them are extremists.
The extremes is where the problem is, because anything is tolerable for as long as
if
it's
manageable.
But
yes.
once it gets into the extremes,
no,
I'll tell you
people
about
who are
the
balanced.
The joking. Someone will joke about things that are
insulting,
bedroom-like,
yes,
in front of people. Now that's really shaming and demeaning. You understand? Yes.
That means you don't have Gondi
that's
control.
Extreme. That's really
you
extreme.
Don't have control.
You know, you know, if you want to joke, if you want to joke, be careful
about normal things. That
yes, exactly. So it's the extreme.
And sometimes you have to know your partner that they're the kind who entertain.
You were talking about my sense of humor.
I love.
I cannot tolerate their sense of humor.
Exactly. Now you see, there
are people I can't tolerate. In that, if I'm inviting them for something serious,
you're always scared.
I'll edit the list. I'll be like, oh no,
tajja amanyi okweyogeza ebyensima
because it will shame you.
Yeah.
You understand? You're in a very serious meeting.
Now, just
where
imagine.
You expect to close a deal, and you have this person and someone to you will say something and someone will pick on it, and that will be the end.
That will be the end. No deal. Weyongereyo. Nga bwe byagenze. So guys, by the way, this is a great deal breaker. Things that you know will never change a sense of humor.
Even in a relationship, I've met women who are like, I can't go
with
to
my
a
husband.
serious function
with my husband.
Exactly.
Yogeza.
In that I have to caution him while you're going to say
bw'oba wakavaawo asanga kuŋŋaanyiza bataano ng'abawadde nga bali ku ttaka. Okay guys, we're running through quickly because we want to wrap up this. And the ongoing issues of lateness. Wali olabyeeko abantu nga ye abeera late tatuukangako mu budde.
Now, my boss once mentioned, he mentioned about one of our staff here and said he will be late for his own burial.
But you know, people can be late. Start the dating. Some people just get used. Oh, you want after an hour. After 2 hours. So if you're the kind again okubera kubunkenke because of that, then you're going to die for no good reason.
Okay, I'll tell you this. This is what I usually do. Okay, most especially when I'm dealing with people, the latecomers.
Yeah,
very simple. Time always. If the meeting is at 5, I will say it's at 3. So they will arrive at 5.
Okay. You've given them
the meeting is at 3 p.m.
So you have to edit everything.
Yes. So you will see them at 5. And you're like, actually, you're on time. And it's like, oh no. Watch him one name here. Because it's disappointed. Yes, come on time.
Okay, and then the incompatible arguing styles.
Yeah.
there are people kantu katono kaba unalekana, and everyone has to know what has happened. And yet you're the kind who, let's manage it internally. Let's manage it internally. So you just know there are people that have complained. Oh, we were talking. It's like everyone has to know what has happened. And then there are people, his arguing style, he has to report. He has to call the mother, call the senga, call who, as in everyone has to know that something has gone on. So you have to, that means you have to get to know.
It's a terrible one, because I don't know why, but I don't know why such people attract the opposite.
Exactly.
It's like the Musiri attracts the other kind. I have a brother. When he's mad, when he's crazy, when he has lost it, it's like he's talking to cows.
You see?
Oh my, he will shout. You know? He will really shout. But the only thing, I'll tell you, the only thing that helps him is when you all go quiet.
You look at him and he becomes insane.
You don't fuel it. You don't talk back. You keep quiet and you just look.
Now, that's learning to manage. So if you love someone and you're like, you know what,
when you stop to talk and keep quiet,
you stop arguing with them. But
because
there are some.
You say one thing, he says 1,000 things. You say two things, he says 2,000 things.
But so there are some, if you stop talking, then
and that's the real point, by the way. You keep quiet. You understand to trigger that in them.
And they will continue shouting.
No, they don't go on forever. They shout
they get to a point and stop. Okay. Okay, guys. There are those that workaholics. They always put their jobs first. If you're dating them, manya, you either go away or you take them. That one will never change.
Will always prioritize their job. They will always go for that business meeting. Date. My boss has just called me. I'm running to office right now, and he will leave you there, and he will ask someone to drop you back or wherever you're coming.
So those traits never change. And then there are deeply engraved values. Waliola sanze kamantu ngoli bwabo mukatuli chaino kwambala sapule yenga nene. Oba jambalidde kuchi oba jambalidde kuchi kati gwe woba oyina obuzibu gwamanyi weefeeko. There are people who have values. As in values zezo ziri very strong and entrenched in them.
Hallelujah. Glory to God. So
you have to know that person and don't request them to change.
And some of them are really good, by the way. Some of them are good because they also communicate something about them.
Yeah.
When someone has engraved
serious values and they are not afraid to show them,
that's a very good trait in them.
So if you hate it,
where the beauty is. Once they can be proud about that, they will always be proud about you. Those are the kind of people, you find them anywhere, they're talking about their wives, like their wives are seated there.
Yeah,
you
and
understand?
they're so excited.
They rub it in everyone's face that he loves his wife. And that's a sweet thing, that's a good thing, that's a beautiful thing. They can't hide it. They love the fact that they're in love with you. So it's good. It's a good thing. Yeah. It has its negatives,
the pros
but the positives,
and the cons.
Yes, somehow are much better. Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's so many reasons why people walk away. Yeah. So many reasons why people walk away. I just want us to hint on them before we go because our time is really fast spent. Yeah. But some of the reasons that people walk away is because they are just not wanted. When you learn that you are in a place where you're not wanted, your first instinct will be telling you. I don't know why this came last
because this is the most interesting.
Your first instincts will be telling you, you know what? Walk away.
I'll tell you
You're
this.
Not needed here.
I'll tell you this. It's practically impossible you not to know that you're not needed.
Yeah. What you mean?
You'll feel it from here to the toes. Yeah. You'll feel it in your belly. You'll feel it on your skin that you're not needed.
Oba, you always have the false hope.
You convince yourself otherwise. That's what people do. They convince themselves to believe a lie. So they constantly convince themselves. Just it's like a survival instinct that what do I do? I have nowhere to go.
While you're prolonging your pain and then wasting your time.
So it's practically impossible. You will always
you always know
that you're not needed.
Yeah, and when you're no longer loved, I think it's in the same basket. You will always feel it. And when you have been left. There are women that we are talking to, or ladies that we are talking to, your man just got a hold of his clothes and walked away.
Yeah.
And you've not heard from him, or if you've heard from him, he's just not interested.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care.
He walked out.
It's possible he walked out into another woman's home, and he just doesn't. Some of them even still send food.
That brings me back to my discussion. What I was telling you, Hilda, it's more mental than physical.
Yeah.
Such a person walked away long
time before they walked.
Way before.
And you saw it.
Yes. But
there were issues.
You could not deal with it.
You could not deal with it.
You could not deal with it.
You gave yourself hope.
Before the
stayed.
physical movement, before people move, before people go.
So that means that person does not have to find you at the same place where they left you.
Yes.
That will be so wrong.
Yes. Yes.
That means you're not a bathroom that they will walk in and out of your life just like that.
When people walk out on you, this is the expectation that when they come back,
they will find you there.
It's
waiting
like
and begging.
It's like they have put a pause on your life.
While theirs is still going on.
When they come back, they
want to find you there. And
now this is the disappointment. When they come back and they don't find you there,
then they turn tables. They will call you Mwenzi, they will call you bad-mannered, they will call you everything, but because you have not been their doormat, they want you to be their doormat under their feet.
Exactly. So, I'll tell you this. Do you know why people stay in that one place? It's what I was talking about on Bob FM sometime. I told our listeners that when you choose to make everything about you, everything the focus on someone who has left, then this is what happens. You get everything about them and carry it on you, including whom they are dating and whom they are seeing. When someone walks out on you, when someone goes, they have gone. Now, this is what happens. When you want to sneak
and stalk them on Facebook, stalk them on Instagram,
you're carrying all that
and you can't do anything.
Now, guess what? Instead of you focusing on your life and the next years of your life, or you're adding more pain. You already lost some time when you were with this guy. And he left you. Now he has gone. His life is moving on. But you're still following him up. In other words, your life has not shifted.
It has not shifted.
Still
Why
in the same,
for him, he's busy eating, going out, having
his life
fun,
has actually, you're nagging.
Sex.
You are nagging. You are nagging to be poking him. You're nagging to be following him up.
He wants you disappeared and
he would
gone.
want you to completely get out of the picture. Do this for me.
Exactly.
Completely get out of the picture. Then you'll be disappointed that you actually did that.
Wow, we needed more of that. And sometimes we walk away because of abuse, both physical and emotional. We walk away because of abuse. That is self-explanatory. And sometimes we walk out because of the narcissistic tendencies. Some people can stonewall you, or they can gaslight you. Every time you are second-guessing yourself, whether you are sane, whether your brain works, whether you are normal. You don't have confidence. You don't have self-esteem. You're just down. You are crushed, so to say. And some people just hit the rock bottom and they're like, you know what, those mukama bayamba, they feel like, you know what, no, this is not where I belong. I must rise up. But when I rise up, I don't rise up to this man, or I don't rise up to this woman again, because this person has shattered me for the longest time. And sometimes these people manipulate us until they can't manipulate us anymore. And then they will throw you as a rag and pick on another subject to manipulate. So sometimes when people walk away because of the children, the safety of the children. When the relationship becomes too toxic and they feel their children are in danger. And I think we've said it because so many people were asking the question of, I want to walk out of this marriage, but I have children. I have reached my wit's end. No one can tell me anything that can make me stay. Because I have been patient for the past 15 years.
And I'm tired.
And I am tired. And now we're not just telling you, pack up your bags and go, pack up your bags and go. But again, you have made that decision on your own. Now, when you have children involved, it's very paramount that you protect them.
Yes, you have to protect
and
them.
sometimes the best way of protecting them is taking them away from the toxic place to a better environment.
Yes, and the devil is a liar, Hilda, because that's exactly what the devil would want.
Exactly.
Separation of
family.
Yeah. But I will tell you this, before you even go to that place, I think you need someone you really trust
to talk to.
You need someone that
and
can
pour
help,
your heart
that
out.
can help you redeem the children.
To customize.
Redemption of the children here is not done exactly by you, but it's done by you preparing them for the bad news. You know, if you've made up your mind, just like you're saying, if that person has made up their mind that they're leaving, they're getting out of that marriage or relationship,
and nothing
whatsoever,
can change
and
their
nothing
mind.
can change them, then the best thing to do is prepare the children for that transition.
Even themselves. Yes. You need to be prepared. Your children need to be prepared.
But more the children. Prepare the children for that transition. Because here, the children blame themselves, actually. They think that the reason as to why you are separated.
We were heavy.
And by the way, just like you've put it, that this woman is taking away the children because he thinks it's a toxic environment. You understand? So the children are thinking, probably the reason as to why mommy and dad cannot be together is because of us. So they blame themselves. So you help them. You really help them. Really, really important to help them. Okay. So you at least you know, in case you need help, you can always reach out. You can always reach out. We can sit down and we can talk and see how that goes. And sometimes it's for our own mental health. You know, you can get depressed when these patterns have happened again and again. You have given yourself hope until the hope is not there anymore. Your breaking point is usually bad. You can get into depression. Like, you know, sometimes you're like, I am walking away from my own mental health so that I can be and sometimes we've said it, even for the children, they need you to be healthy in order to take care of them. You can't be in a vegetative state and you take care of your children. No, you can't. They need to consult you. They need to ask you about, you need to direct them. So if you're dying because of depression and the person that is causing you depression is not willing to change, clearly you must make a decision for yourself that benefits you. And then the emotional torture, which is the worst. Which is the worst. Because when we were starting, Hilda, I said people walk away mentally. Now, when someone walks out on you mentally, they emotionally torture you. Because then you keep second guessing yourself. You don't know why. Number one, you don't know why they are in that kind of situation. You don't know why they have left you. And you can feel it when someone has walked away. Because anything that you do does not get a response. Anything that you try falls on dead ground. Your tears are a waste. And they don't want to know. Why? Because they have walked away mentally. Physically available, but not with you anymore. Painful. So I understand when you say people walk away when they feel emotionally tortured. And it's repetitive. And I'll tell you this. You'd rather sit down with that person. You had the boldness to walk to this woman and tell her that you loved her. Be bold enough to walk to this woman that relationship. Instead of just stringing them along. I think it's very respectful when you do that. Don't give excuses. No. Don't even build a story. Don't try to talk about the last 15 years of your life in that meeting. Just end it. Exactly. Okay, guys, I want us to wrap up this session with the 5 pillars of every healthy marriage and every healthy relationship. I know we're going to have more interaction during the week. For those of you that agreed to be in the special group, the bonus group, the inner circle activation group. Yes, but the 5 of them is friendship, loyalty, respect, acceptance, and commitment. Very true. Now, if you don't have those 5 in your relationship, it's a dead relationship. Check the foundation. And get in touch if you need help. Reach out. We will be able to talk and we will be able to direct you or facilitate transformation in your relationship. And even the end or the exit needs facilitation. So if you feel this, I've reached the end and I want to exit, reach out. We'll be able to sit down and talk. If you need help with the lawyers or whatever it is, we will have all the options so that you make a sober decision on your own about the next level of your life and what's going to happen. But we love you. Yes, and again, apologies about the start. The start was quite hard. You appreciate the fact that this is our first webinar. Yes. our first one.
Online,
the online event. It is our first. So we had a few technical glitches.
Yes.
Understandable. Forgive us for that.
But we are glad we have
But at least we managed. At least we promised that we'll do it.
Yeah.
Yes, and exactly we have.
Okay, guys. From us to you is a bye-bye.
Yeah.